here we go for Mulu Part 2. Apologies, this is quite a long video, but we had a really great time there and there was a lot to see. So you've got bats, you've got boats, you've got bugs, canopy walks, caves, and we've cut it back as much as we possibly can. So if you don't want to see all of that and just want some top tips and the details about the actual camp itself and how to make the most of the accommodation, then skip to about minute 17. But otherwise, enjoy the bugs and everything else.
Never seen them blown up.
No, it looks like a sort of nut or a fruit of some sort, doesn't it?
Usually they just run away from you and they're really funny.
So while we make a loop later, we have 7 platforms. So platform is connected with the big tree. So in one platform can be 4 person at one time. Okay. For this small bridge, this walkway must be 2 person crossing at one time. Okay. So later maybe Tatiana can go with me. So till we reach at the first platform, so the next 2 person can proceed slowly. Okay, just walk slowly.
Oh, this one's very bouncy, Callum. All right. Gosh, look how high you are. We're missing the monkeys. No monkeys.
There's some monkeys.
Ooh, is that you bouncing it? Callum Rossi.
So it's not too shaky. So you're a bit faster.
Oh, okay.
Concentrating race.
On the fast lane tour, which is a long boat, going to walk through the forest, into a cave, and back. So, yeah, well, life jackets required, obviously. Rainforest, doing what rainforests are meant to do. Still. It's the entrance to the first cave. There.
Living thing that we might hopefully gonna see in the cave. Okay, so the main highlight will be the blind cave crab.
Blind cave crab.
Yeah, a white color, small one.
Okay.
Hopefully we can see it later. Okay. Other than that, like the snake, spider, cave cricket. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
bird, the swiftlet and the bats.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yeah.
the one that eat insects.
Yeah.
Since they have very good echolocation to travel in the dark, so that's why they can go very deep in the cave.
I suppose they have to rely on that more than being able to see anyone high. Yeah.
Because the cave, to have the formation, they must have water as well.
Yeah.
So the water from the rain.
Yes.
So sometimes we have long period of dry season, so not much rain.
Yeah.
So it's also depends on that.
Oh. Not today.
Not today. They are the one that can be found in Mulu area. So the one that people are collecting is big. Can you imagine how we get out if I forget to bring the key?
Crawl under there.
Under there, yeah.
Been before.
You've done that before.
You have, oh no. All of a sudden to go from absolute silence to the noise of the forest.
No bats. Thank you. Are you waiting here or going?
No, I was going to go over and see it when
Well, now?
that's open. Yeah.
A couple of hours to kill this morning because we haven't got anything booked in this morning. So we've just got the key for the Treetop Tower. Signed away my life to get a key. Oh. And we're gonna go and have a look at whatever the Treetop Tower is. Treetop Tower number 2. There you go. And we've moved accommodation again into Rambutan Lodge. It looks very nice, but they were still busy cleaning it from the people yesterday, so we decided to come for a walk. It did rain non-stop from lunchtime yesterday onwards. So it looks like we're going to be doing a bit of wading in very cold water. Oh! Nearly up to your knees, hence why there's no crocodiles here, because that water is too cold. And being cold-blooded, they don't like it. I don't blame them, that was freezing. Yeah. And we do need the key here for the tower. And we're going to head up there and see if there's anything to see.
To let everyone know about the cave system that we're gonna do for the Clearwater. Alright, so this is the whole map out of the Clearwater cave system. But the walkway that we do today is only about 400 meters from the entrance down to the river section. We're gonna do one big loop, and at the end there's a skylight that we're gonna see again, same as the Wing Cave, and return back to the same entrance but different way. So it means that one big loop.
Turn around.
Downstream.
So they call this cave is Deer Cave because the local people a long time ago they're going into this cave for hunting deer. And the reason why they're going inside this cave is because we have a lot of bats that live in this cave. The one that's coming out during the exodus at the entrance is between 5 to 6:30 is the ritual bats. We estimate it's about 2 or 3 million of them.
A bit more of a scale. You see some of the people there.
Alright, so you can see all the black color over there. That is the types, the wrinkly bats, and you can see the urine as well. No, it's critical. And also from these sides, if you see at the entrance, you can see the Abraham Lincoln.
Ah.
And you have to zoom and then focus.
Done our tour around the Deer Cave and the Langan Cave. The Langan one's probably the more beautiful, but the Deer Cave is enormous. Used to be well, I guess it's always been the second biggest in the world. It's just the one in Vietnam's only recently discovered. So for a long time it was the biggest discovered cave in the world. But it's now the second biggest, although they're still trying to claim it's the biggest in terms of dimensions, but not volume. So I'm not quite sure how that works, but either way, very impressive. And lots of bats in there, which hopefully are going to come out and feed in about an hour's time, so we can see the exodus. Okay, so we've just seen the bat exodus, got lucky, because talking to other people, they haven't seen it the last few days because it's just been too wet, but it was pretty good tonight. Not quite as, a bit different to the one we saw in Battambang in Cambodia, in that it started off with lots of little groups, and then there was one long stream for about 2 minutes in the middle, and then lots of little groups again going out, but quite spectacular in its own way, and kind of strange patterns that they make in the sky. And we did see a hawk, but a bat hawk, that is why they go in groups, to try and fool the bat hawk into thinking it's something bigger and not little bats. So I think it must have worked, because we didn't see the bat hawk eat any.
No.
But no, it's pretty good.
It wasn't as wide and as long as that's fine.
No.
That's the only thing.
No.
Limit expectations if you've been to both.
Yeah, but no, it's quite spectacular in its own way, and a nice watch. Anyway, back now for something to eat. Okay, our last full day in Mulu, so we're off to Clearwater. Not a bad spot to have breakfast. Which is a 4-hour trip. I think we get a long boat to a village, wander through a village, and then we have a couple hours in the cave, looking around the cave. A chance to swim, I think. So we've got swimming stuff just in case. And back again.
We need to go back in the room because I've had my water in there.
It's like trying to organise a 5-year-old. Always something. And the doors are paid to open and shut. But anyway, beautiful day today. Looks like it rained overnight, so hopefully that's the rain out of the way. And we'll have sun all day, which will be good.
To let everyone know about the cave system that we're gonna do for the Clearwater. Alright, so this is the whole map out of the Clearwater cave system, but the walkway that we do today is only about 400 meters from the entrance down to the river section. We're gonna do one big loop, and at the end there's a skylight that we're gonna see again, same as the wing cave, and return back to the same entrance but different way. So it means that one big loop.
So they up, down every day before. Yeah. So and then it's one of the lower entrance of the cave before they found the upper entrance where we are.
This area, or the deer cave area. Anyone been to deer cave? Yes, yesterday. Yeah. So this is the main highway. Back to the local, they use the river as highway for upstream, find fishing, and sometimes they go for hunting.
That the water got to in 2008. And it swept away a lot of the bridges and the concrete blocks. It's so powerful. Okay. Climbing back out of the Clearwater cave. Pretty steep steps again, but up into the sunlight. Not sure how well that will come out, but it's very bright and very green when you look at it in reality. But I think because it's so bright, it may not come out brilliantly. But another nice climb just to get the blood going before we go back down to the river for a swim. Best swimming.
I'm not going anywhere. Yeah.
The mantis, it's different than the stick insect, yeah, because after they mate, they will kill each other.
Yeah, the female bites off the male's head.
So is this male or female? Can you tell? Or
You look like a male.
we've come to the end of our time here at Mulu. So we had 4 nights.
4 nights.
4 nights here, which has been really nice and relaxed and given us plenty of time to do everything. You probably can fit it into 2-3 days if you do a morning tour, an afternoon tour, an evening tour on the days, but that would make it a bit of a rush. So if you've got the time to take a bit longer, then probably worth it.
Yeah, some of them you can only do in the afternoons as well. The fast lane tour you can only do in the afternoon, and that was really nice. We only had us and the guide for that, so that was really good. But otherwise, I think it's worth booking them in advance.
Yeah, and the other, obviously the other advantage of the fact we had 4 days is that because it is a rainforest and it rains, when it rains too much, some things get cancelled. So the night tour we wanted to do was cancelled the first time, but then because we had enough time, we were able to do it last night. So that does make it much easier.
Yeah, yeah, which was worth. And Cam said it has rained a lot. A lot of the paths have been flooded, and so having some sort of water shoes is really useful. A lot of people have been complaining about wet boots, and if you've got proper walking boots, I can imagine they will just need to be chucked afterwards because they won't dry. So having some sort of water shoes was actually really useful. Still slightly damp when you're putting them on, but nowhere near as bad as a walking boot.
In terms of the resort itself, you've got a choice of a longhouse or a lodge, or there's a hostel. We haven't been in the hostel, but we've had both the longhouse room and the lodge room. The lodges are much nicer, but the longhouse was perfectly good.
Yeah. It
just had 4 beds in it, so it was big, but it had room for 4 people, but just the 2 was in there. Whereas the lodge is designed for, well, again, it's got 2 beds, so you could get 3 people in it, 1 double and a single, but designed for 2 more, and been really nice. But yeah, all the accommodations in really good condition, fans and aircon, coffee facilities, so yeah, all good.
Been really nice. Yeah. There's no Wi-Fi unless you're with Digi, We had read that you could get it with other providers as well. We had Cellcom, I think, on ours, but absolute intermittent. And if you do get it, it's 30 seconds. There is a little cafe over the bridge. Use that term. Good luck cafe. I use that term very lightly, but they do provide transport to and from the airport, which is really good, and they do have Wi-Fi. You do find lots of people sat outside, having been in once for a meal or a drink, and then sit outside in the little bus stop and use their Wi-Fi, which is a bit naughty. Shouldn't be doing that.
Well, but we've eaten there a couple of times, and we're using their transport, so I don't feel too bad. And actually, if you sit in the main cafe here at the park, right on the edge by the river, you can occasionally, I mean, at breakfast this morning I managed to pick up their Wi-Fi, so download a few bits and pieces then, so you can use the Wi-Fi from there as well.
Yeah, but it didn't reach to mine.
No, you need to have a decent Google phone rather than Apple.
No.
Okay.
But their beer is also cheaper. Their beer is half the price.
Yeah, the beer here in the resort is 20 for a can, which is just under a fiver. No, about £4.
It's about £4.
Yeah, just under £4, sorry. Whereas over the road it's 10, so it's half the price. So if you fancy a few beers, better off going over there and have them over there, or just buy a few there and bring them back over to your room if you want.
Yeah, they're limited opening hours. They're not open all the time. Sure, I think it's an hour and a half for lunch and 2 hours in the evening for dinner. So just something worth noting.
Yeah. In terms of expectations for the tours here, don't expect lots of wildlife. If you've been to Baco before here, as we had, and there's wildlife all over the place, you don't get that here. As the guides explain, this park covers an enormous area, whereas Baco is quite a small area, so the animals are kind of squashed into a small area in Baco, so you see them. Here, they're much more, they've got much more space, and they tend to keep away from people, so you won't see the same, certainly level of mammals that you saw at Baco. So
I've not seen a single mammal.
No,
not a single one.
monkey. We haven't seen any monkeys. I mean, he did mention that you can see porcupines, and someone had seen a lynx or something like that on the way here from the Hilton, but no, we didn't see any of that. We did see a big snake last night, but that was right next to the camp. Lots of spiders and insects, but it's mainly, I guess, if you come in here, you're mainly coming here probably for the caves and the bat exodus.
Yeah.
And the bat exodus was really good, but again, worth having a couple of nights there, because 2 of the nights before we went, it didn't happen, either because it was too wet or just the wrong conditions. But again, we got lucky, so on the night we went to see it, it happened, and it was quite spectacular.
The other thing I'd say is, if you can, it does get booked up, but if you can stay in the park, we've met a lot of people who have either stayed in hostels or homestays, which seem okay, and some are very walkable.
Even at the Hilton.
Some are at the Marriott, and
Marriott's.
We did watch one man yesterday who we'd been on a tour with, and he waited an hour for the Marriott bus to go back, and I just thought, actually, I wouldn't have been very happy with that, sitting around. And somebody else who had tours in the morning or the afternoon, and there was a lot of hanging about, whereas we've been able to come back to our room, sit on our lovely balcony and chill. So definitely it is more expensive than a homestay, or
cheaper than the Marriott, I imagine.
No, but I really think it is absolutely the best choice to stay here.
Yeah, I can't think of any reason not to. It's perfect.
Well, just the cost.
Yeah,
it's
and
like £60 a night.
But the Marriott's more, isn't it?
The Marriott's more, yeah.
I mean, the only advantage of the Marriott is obviously you get a pool, but for a few days you can do without that.
It's probably going to be raining anyway.
Good chance. Yeah. Okay, is that all of our top tips?
Yeah, we're off to the beach now. Yay!
Yeah.